All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Rough roads ahead. Not sure what happened there. I thought it was on recording. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. Remember to heal people, especially if they're like in a government or church. You have to. You can say in too, but it's really you're healing them into your society, and then they'll take on a form of your society. I mean, they're not going to be carbon copy of your society. They have their own self, but it'll wire in and then. So again, if somebody's not quote unquote making the grade or not doing what they're supposed to, it's your society, not the person, because the society has more power than the person does generally. Let me turn the AC down a little bit. Not in the background, puffing away. Gallery thing. So I've been calculating and adjusting the fireplace height because I thought I had more room than I did. I mean, it's fine the way it is, but I was going to put an extra couple inches on it and do the top uh, cap, I guess you call it, or not cap, top top board that goes across. I was going to lift it a couple inches off of the height or above the height of the horizontal uprights, the facing. But I I could I could adjust things, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to keep it the way it is. I could also create a different. I have another cabinet, so I could create a different cap for it or crown where it doesn't have the pediment, where it's just a flat kind of a kind of a baroque style roof, I guess, where the roof is. You'll see it on a lot of tower arcs. They have the overhang, like a deep overhang. So it'll be a second level with a deep overhang, but no kind of pediment peak, which puts it up you know 6 to 10 inches or so for the size arc. Well, I have the columns and all that. If I took away the uh, the angels that are going to go on top of the capitals, I probably have enough space to do everything else. But I'll be fine. It'll be fine the way it is. I have 14, I think, .8 inches left from the height of the two cabinets. 12 inches is eaten up by additional 12 inches on the horizontal facing. So leaves me 2.8 inches of wiggle room. It's probably going to end up about an inch away from the ceiling. Fine. I almost had an apartment with 10-foot ceiling. Then again, would I've actually built the ark? It's too close to the highway. There's probably a few apartments in there that were pretty well situated in reference to the highway, but they weren't available. You sit on your come out into your patio and it's like the exit. It's it's the it's that clover leaf over on 30 35 4 and 4th 35. I guess that's so you're like one of the exit roads, connector roads runs behind. It's a field or something there, but you can see it. The Jake break. I mean, yeah, they're well priced. They didn't like rip you off or anything. Very nice apartments, 10-foot ceilings, had some built-ins. Like this is the first time actually, in Santa Fe, I didn't feel really ripped off. It was just a hostile, you know, office every time you turned around. But I don't feel ripped off or, not really a hostile office. They made one complaint. I guess it was like a sabotage from the neighbors, I think. So you made a certain complaint, but it was fixable. Could have been the popo involved also. And of course, the neighbors are the popo. They're a couple informants there making money, screwing up their neighbors' lives. Again, if it wasn't that, I wouldn't tell you. But again, it is like a CIA operating outside of the requirements. Wait a minute. Is this? That's, well, outside the law. It doesn't have to be CIA to be a CIA, an intelligence center. So again, they didn't. CIA wasn't an inside job. It really happened, but they used it for everything that I say they used it for. They used it corruptly, although they wanted it, but I don't think they wanted that. They wanted something that would allow them to come out from intelligence networks all over the country and hire people to be intelligence operators because they were paranoid they were going to get arrested. Ames Hansen paranoid them out. I think Ames may have been afterwards. I can't remember the time frame on Ames. They're all weirdos anyway. Anybody who would do that to somebody's a weirdo. They try to act like they're the in crowd cool, the biggest of the bigs. Well, Elon's only one person, and what's the other people? Like Trump. But you have these multi-million, like you don't see them, the multi-millionaire families that are actually making money off of all these wars. It's not it don't dumb it down by saying it's a military industrial complex. It's your neighbor or somebody in your community. Like, how do you buy that house? How does he afford that? They kill people. Satanic sacrifice. Trying to see what I see over here. Drug users, but I just want to make sure she wasn't bonded. Doesn't look like it. Remember, we got like 18-year-olds pimping out 16-year-olds. Government doesn't see that, right? They're trying to figure out how to execute 9,000 former employees of the government. It's going to be a pine. It's going to be put together with pine, and then there's going to be what is it? Aspen, which is a form of willow facing, or is a species of willow. Well, the sign that it wasn't supposed to be poplar was not only the dollar sign extra. It was dark wood. It wasn't the white wood. Well, Jacob used white poplar, if I'm not mistaken. The aspen's kind of white, but it's a different willow. It's considered willow. Once Hashem said we're considered willow, and that's how it's going to score. I mean, it'll be probably a little sturdier the way I'm going to build it. Not that it wasn't going to be sturdy. So I can actually use fasteners that expose to build the subframe. I can use fasteners that would have before been exposed to the exterior. But Hashem also said, you just use these flathead type fasteners, bolts. I think they're called furniture fasteners or something. It's a little thin, I think, the wood to use there's these threaded, they're threaded on the inside and threaded on the outside, and you screw it into the wood, and it grabs in the wood, and then you use your bolt to screw into. But Hashem said you could even just put, you get little round discs and put a Star of David on it, and use four on each facing. Use four furniture fasteners, and they could be exposed to the outside. Because what you're going to do is you'll put their little round circle thing with the Star of David on it over on each corner. There'll be four on each panel. If we go that way, I don't know. We have to find the fasteners. That'll be next. Well, the idea is this: we can't our global policy can't be uh, held hostage to the Ukrainian conflict. And it's not to say that it's not saying we're not going to support the Ukraine, but there has to be an end. There can't be a stalemate. And when it began, I told you need to negotiate things because you won't have the power to end it. You needed to reach out to Russia. Whether you saw that or not, I can't tell you. But you're the ones that put me in this position to begin with. It's a psychological operation from several entities, and further into criminal enterprise. And I told you at a certain point it's going to be trench warfare, and it's going to have great loss. And at a certain point, it's going to move into Russia. Well, I think at a certain point they were like, "Oh well, the hell with Putin." Well, cut your nose off, spite your face. So at a certain point, it could be a win-win scenario that we could come up with, but we have to meet first, and you have to meet regularly because that's the only way they did it. Remember, don't listen to these idiots that are in there now. Obviously, they're messing things up again. However, remember this: there was no cessation of the Cold War when Gorbachev and Reagan met until there was. It was, they were still, we are still going at it globally, and there may have been a bit of there was a couple of conflicts. I think El Salvador was still going on, or had it start. Yeah, El Salvador was still going on, and all that. Nicaragua and El Salvador, that was a proxy war. I think something was going on in Honduras. Again, it's not. These people, they have no clue. They're assholes. I mean, to put it bluntly, they're assholes. You got a bunch of assholes running everything, and they're so freaking wealthy they could give a shit less about the rest of the world as long as they keep making money. Self-centered assholes. That's why we get nowhere. But everybody goes, "Oh, we're doing great, aren't we?" Kind of the time to work out Venezuela was when we needed oil, and Sitko was talking to Venezuela, and we were making deals there. That was the time to enter Venezuela for meetings and talks, and maybe a retirement package for the good of everyone involved. When you wait till he wins an election, oh, now we got you. You won the election. Whatever it is, that's I told you this before. If you want to deal with North Korea, you got to deal with Kim. There isn't anybody else. I mean, so eventually it's going to be his daughter. So as much as you hate Kim, you're screwing all those people that you say are being mistreated by not working for. Because who knows what's going to happen? Kim grew up in North Korea. That's all he knows. You grew up here. That's all you know. But be the bigger person, I guess. Kim doesn't know anything but what he grew up in. There's a possibility that Kim will never be held responsible for what he's done in his life. And then the thing that attacks my life attacks his life. It doesn't tell you anything about me. Tells us about all of you. So I know he can't come out of where he is. I couldn't, so he can't. All you have to do is heal it. If you go back through history, there's big changes. Like when we freed, the Grand Duchy of Lithuania. I think it happened in Poland before. No, if you weren't going to move in 2014 and move the full thing, then you gave Putin like what 10 years to do, or I guess 8 years to do whatever he wanted, make it work for him, and of course it didn't. But well, he did the big build up, and then what? Well, people defrauded him, and he didn't have what he thought he had. But that's always been the problem in Russia. So they never fixed. The Soviet Union had the same problem. They never fixed. Everybody got big boats, right? Big luxury yachts. What'd you do with the money? We bought luxury yachts. Well, yeah, reset. We need to reset. Well, I don't think anybody holds the upper hand, and I said that would be the result of it before it began. In earnest. No, you just start talking. See, you're going. Well, what do you expect? You're just going to talk to him. He's going to talk to you, and then whatever happens next. It's not going to happen. The first time you meet, but there could be representations that we all are going to get forward of whatever's beset the entire process for so many years. Well, you're not. It didn't serve the people that are dead or that lost loved ones in the Ukraine, and it didn't serve the people that are dead or lost loved ones in Russia. It didn't serve, or it didn't serve the people in the United States that needed that money here. I'm for my 300. I had to go do it. Why didn't you give me my percentage? See that? She, Persian Gulf, they got rid of all the paperwork. Yeah, it was approved by dealer, but then that's when they attacked me in Arizona and Santa Fe and started the extra stuff. So I actually should have had that 100%, probably 2012 or 13. Obviously, if the intelligence network of crooks, and I'm not saying that it's anybody in particular, and obviously there's a lot of private sector intelligence organizations. Oh wait, am I passing NSA now? Obviously, they're running stuff. Then they're obviously running VA disability, and and again they are, and that's how they pay people like me. But they didn't do it. They did the reverse. They stopped it. I got to heal this place over here. It's just the game. Eyes on. I'm raying you. Now you're healed. I find this plan to be the stupidest thing ever created. I got to figure out where I'm going. I think I got to switch roads up here. I got to visit another Menards. There's something over that way. I remember switching onto this road. Is it down this way? Oh, I can't turn yet. Let me see what it says up here. All right. Yeah, it's this way. I'm gonna go somewhere and take a break and look at my map. I can't do that while I'm driving. Correct? Correct. You can't do that while you're driving, sir. So what happens is when my channels open up, then they can get in there and whack my head even more. But if my channels didn't open up, I'd have been dead. Right? I'm going the right way. That's obvious. And see, this is the weird part. Because I would not take the first way to this road and take the second, then actually, no, the other one was a different way. Now, sometimes like things are built based upon something that would happen in the future, but I'm not the only one. So I had to see the first road to remember I had to turn, and then I saw the second road. So I can't remember if the first road leads to the same way place the second road did. But yeah, that's how the world like because you have needs, and then the need sometimes is fulfilled, and people have the same need. Right? It's actually like the multimillionaires and those families, and some of the billionaires are part of it. That's how. But the army is the multi of corruption is the multimillionaires. If they hid, say, oh, it's Elon and it's Trump. Right, Kim could be innocent if he never woke up in his life. God, again, the thing applies to everybody. I always send the message. Look, I know we grew up in different societies, and you can't see what I'm saying because you grew up and you don't. I grew up somewhere, so you can't see it. But then he goes, yeah, and then he blames CIA or something. I don't know what he receives. Well, there's it. I should have exited. Darn it. Missed my exit. Yeah, yeah, that's it right there. I have to heal something down this way. I got there without actually looking at the map. There's some housing up this way, like multi-tenant. That's that's funny. It says Ray, and then the arrow points to more. I just said Ray. See, they may hear. I think they hear me like road crews around here, like when they build all this stuff. It just seems like that, but it could be Hashem. Who knows? Hashem. Of course, it's Hashem. Anyway. I can't do it without it. Eat a poo poo. Eat a poo poo. If I can read this vehicle. Let's see. Something in Florida, number 238. Isn't that your phone interchange? Yeah, it's my brother's name is Steven Stevens. something going on. My brother still has like a condo in Florida, or has the condo. The condo. It's a bunch of shopping here. We'll heal that. Salvation Army take care of the general stuff there. Now I probably would have moved to Kansas City, Missouri if they hadn't the block, and it probably would have may have been in front of instead of Santa Fe. Yeah, kill your police vehicles because it's like it's a combination of things. One thing is that it's accidents. It's cursed to have an accident. Again, people get tickets and they get angry, and so maybe a ticketed an accident. In that terrible, I have an accident. You give me a ticket. It's like you should have an accident and get a ticket. They curse you, but there's also like aggression. So there's like this thing where there should be an accident, and I should actually cause it. We're turning here, so that won't be happening. Like when you drive into a building, it's similar to driving into a building thing, or into an entrance, like a drive-through entrance. Not a drive-through, but like they make a drive-through entrance. People every so often make a drive-through entrance. It's not there. Okay, so what is this housing? Okay, I see everything. The view's pretty good here. It's blinded. Overland Park is completely blinded. They keep cursing so much and then operating psychologically. It's Federal Credit Union. What is it? FCU, RG, FCU. Sorry, AREGFCU, SEYOU. YOU because you owe me. Heal the parking lot here. Going shopping. I gotta get in Ross, take a look there. Feel these immigrant people over here. Looks like they need a ride. Well, she looks like she's texting somebody. And just kind of standing in a. Oh, the guy works. Oh, he works with those people. Actually, maybe lunch break. Maybe 15, right? Feel that. Well, stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do.